5 people face charges after a drug bust in Irondale, and one of them is a popular social media influencer. 21-year-old Marcellus Holmes is charged with 2 counts.
He looked like he off. Like, come on, bro. Look at this mugshot, bro.
Stupid.
What?
He looked like he off 17 right now. He got a demon emoji tattooed on his neck.
Trafficking and possession
You don't
charges.
look like a nigga that got any
Holmes
type of
has
sense.
over a million subscribers on YouTube.
From making the internet laugh with skits to getting caught up in federal raids and running a operation, MK Slatt's story is one of the wildest flips the social media world has ever seen. Before the viral videos, the jokes, and the skits, he was Marcellus Holmes, a kid from Alabama, where you either make money, get clout, or get caught slipping and end up a pack. But how does someone go from posting goofy-ass skits online to becoming a headline in a federal investigation? And was this downfall something he saw coming? Or was it all caught on camera before anyone even realized? Just look at bro. He's the last person I would expect to be running a whole ring. Today, we're breaking down everything
I don't know about that one, bro. I'm gonna be honest with you. This slow. He looked like a special ed kid, gang. I'm not, don't shoot the messenger. I'm here to tell the truth. Do not be mad at me. Do he not look like a short yellow bus kid, folks? Come on, man.
He's the last person I would expect to be running a whole ring. Today, we're breaking down everything about MK Slatt, the rise, the laughs, the empire, and the chaos that followed.
You, the small one, bring your lad here. This is my yard. Hey, you want to check in with me, homie? You get shanked, homie. Straight up.
Before MK Slatt ever went viral, before anybody knew his face from Instagram skits or TikTok clips, he was just Marcellus Holmes, a regular YN growing up in Alabama, in an environment that didn't exactly hand out many exits. Alabama isn't Hollywood. It's not Atlanta. It's not LA. It's low-key a shithole. It's the type of place where everybody knows everybody, police move quietly, and opportunities feel limited unless you're willing to leave or hustle. From a young age, MK was surrounded by the same pressures a lot of kids from the hood deal with. Money problems, street influence, and that constant push to grow up fast. There wasn't much room for being just a kid for too long. You either adapt, crash out, or find something that separates you. And for MK, that something was personality. People who knew him early on described him as loud, animated, always joking, always acting out scenes.
These the same size as my... the same size. Yeah, the same size.
I don't think he was acting for real, bro. I
Wasn't
think
the toughest,
he's special ed
but he knew how to
for real,
command
man.
attention. In school and around the neighborhood, he was that dude cracking jokes, exaggerating stories, imitating people, basically turning everyday hood situations into comedy. That's important because comedy for MK wasn't just entertainment, it was survival. When you grow up around chaos, laughing at it becomes a coping mechanism. Instead of talking about trauma directly, you joke through it. Instead of showing fear, you turn it into a skit. That's how a lot of YNs move. Humor becomes armor, but at the same time, MK wasn't growing up in a bubble. He still saw the street side early. He still watched older dudes getting money the fast way. He still saw respect tied to image. So even while he was the funny,
he kept losing his mind more and more. Like the tattoo, the stupid tattoos on his neck and his face and his body. It just keeps seeming like he just kept losing his mind.
He was still absorbing the same environment, learning what gets you attention, what gets you respect, and what gets you labeled as him in the hood. And that's where things start getting tricky. Because when you grow up somewhere that doesn't separate entertainment from real life, sometimes the line gets blurry. The jokes start sounding like confessions. The skits start mirroring reality. And before you realize it, you're not just making fun of the lifestyle anymore, you're living inside it. At this stage, MK Slatt wasn't famous yet. He wasn't rich. He wasn't on the radar. But the foundation was already there. A kid from a rough environment, a natural performer, and a world that rewards attention more than direction.
Look at him. You see how he keep getting these tattoos? He just looked like he's losing his mind more and more. And who is doing these tattoos, gang? Like, bro, you need a new tattoo art. Look, why is you keep... It look like you let a 5-year-old scribble on your neck, gang. What is going on?
Towards attention more than direction. And once the internet entered the picture, everything changed.
I don't even know what I'm doing. I don't even know what I'm doing. I don't know what I'm doing.
K had something most YNs from his environment don't get early on. Attention. Views turned into followers, followers turned into money, and money turned into validation. That part is important. Because when you grow up broke or stressed, money doesn't just feel good, it feels like proof. Proof that you made it. Proof that you're doing something right. Proof that you're smarter than the system that tried to box you in. But the internet also comes with pressure. Once MK got known for a certain type of humor, street humor, crash out humor, switch jokes, that's what the audience expected. And every time he posted, he had to outdo the last one. So the skits started getting louder. The characters started getting wilder. The lines between parody and reality started thinning. At first, nobody saw it as dangerous. It was just jokes, just content. But slowly, his online persona stopped being a character and started becoming an identity. The same energy that made people laugh also started shaping how people saw him and how he saw himself. MK Slatt was no longer just a funny dude from Alabama. He was the crash-out comedian, the exaggerated hood stereotype, the internet version of somebody who lives reckless. And the more the audience rewarded that image, the harder it became to separate it from real life. By this point, MK was winning, views were up, money was coming in, clout was real. But beneath the jokes, the environment never changed. And that's where the danger really started. At some point, the internet stopped laughing with MK Slatt and started watching him closely. Because if you go back and really study the content, there was a shift. Not all at once, but enough that people who were paying attention could feel it. The skits didn't just reference street life anymore. They started flexing it. Jokes about switches turned into videos with real in the background. Funny exaggerations turned into imagery that felt less like parody and more like proof.
Man, the boy had got the bump.
See, now this is what happened. All jokes aside, though, this is what happened when you surround yourself with the wrong crowd and the wrong niggas, folks. You know what I'm saying? Because the wrong will have you thinking that the shit that you doing right is wrong and the shit that you doing wrong is right. You see what I'm saying? So instead of his homies probably encouraging, hey boy, you got 1 million subscribers. You got enough subscribers, enough attention to get all of us out the hood. You got enough money. If you do this the right way, gang, you could for real change your life, your mama life, everybody in the hood life, all your friends' life. You could really change all our life. Stay focused on that shit, man. Get your ass out the hood. Move to Texas, move to LA, move to Miami, move to these places. Go link up with these other content creators. Go network. You know what I'm saying? Get these opportunities. Get you some sponsorships. Get you some money, bro. Go get that money, gang. Go hold that down. It seemed like this had the niggas around him like, man, he doing that lame shit, man. Help us sell these. You ain't really about that. You forgot about the hood, cuz. You forgot about the hood, cuz. You forgot that you forgot about the gang, cuz. So it seemed like he was around them type of, because if he was around the right type of, like, boy, if you don't get your stupid ass off the phone, what are you doing with these guns and shit, man? What you doing? The streets over with. You got 1 million subscribers. You can't be in the streets if you want to, bro. They're gonna snitch on you. You're gonna get caught. You're famous. You can't, like, what the fuck?
You know, he me.
Who all the one?
Bro, Terry and them.
Terry.
Yeah. Man, I don't know who the other boy.
Got to have the dirty clip.
And the character that once felt cartoonish started looking uncomfortably real.
Yeah.
That's usually how it goes. When somebody grows up around a lifestyle, makes jokes about it, and then gets rewarded for those jokes, the brain starts mixing signals. The audience thinks it's entertainment. The creator starts thinking it's branding. And branding comes with expectations. MK's comments section changed. Instead of just laughing, people started hyping the image. He really liked that. This ain't just skits. Bro living what he rapping. That type of validation is dangerous, especially for a young dude who's still figuring himself out. Because now you're not just being funny.
He wasn't just selling a joke, he was doing them, bro. I don't give a damn what you tell me right here. This right here is crazy, yo.
What?
Okay? I know how to tell a smoker when I see a smoker. That is off some drugs. Now nowadays, they don't smoke no more. You know what I'm saying? They just popping the pills, which is really worse than, okay? Yeah, you better do your homework. But that's what's going on. It's no difference. He's still a junkie. You know what I'm saying? This is a junkie, gang. Look at him. He's smoking a Black and Mild with some cartoon 5-year-old scribble tattoos on his face and neck. This is high, man. Either high, slow, or crazy. Probably all of them.
For a young dude who's still figuring himself out, because now you're not just being,
you're
being watched as a representation.
Look at this man.
Because
that
now
man
you're not, you're being watched.
He's either high, he's crazy, or he's slow. It's no other. And honestly, bro, with this, I'm doing my scan. I'm doing my real scan, okay? And I'm seeing it ain't looking right.
a representation. And instead of stepping back, MK leaned into it. The tattoos started stacking up, including the infamous emoji-style ink that people clowned at first, then questioned later. His appearance got more aggressive. His music leaned darker, his visuals got louder. Parking lots, weapons, crash-out energy everywhere. To the internet, it looked like an aesthetic. To law enforcement, it looked like evidence. And that's the part a lot of creators don't understand. The internet never forgets, and the feds don't care about jokes. Every post is a timestamp. Every video is a snapshot. Every just playing moment becomes context later. Meanwhile, behind the scenes, MK wasn't just a content creator anymore. He was moving in circles that didn't match the image of a comedian who had something to lose. And once you're known, you don't get the luxury of moving reckless quietly. That's where the first real danger signs pop up. Because when the persona you're selling online matches what investigators are already watching in real life, the internet stops being a stage and starts being a paper trail. Most fans didn't watch it, they just kept scrolling. But the shift had already happened. The comedian was still there, but now he was sharing space with something heavier, something riskier, something that didn't disappear when the camera cut off. And the moment the character became reality, the countdown had already started. At this point, MK wasn't just joking about or switches anymore. He was around people who were really in it, people who didn't see the internet as a joke and definitely didn't see it as a shield. The more he leaned into that lifestyle, the more reckless the optics became.
Yeah.
Videos, aggressive music.
You start seeing a difference. You start seeing how goofy it was to how like serious it got. Like hold on, gang. Like
visuals that look less like comedy and more like statements. And here's the part a lot of YNs don't think about. When you're already known, everything you do hits harder. Police don't need rumors, they need patterns. And MK's pattern was loud. To law enforcement, this wasn't a comedian acting wild for views. It was someone with visibility repeatedly placing himself around illegal activity, posting it publicly, and daring the system to ignore it. That's when bigger eyes start watching. Federal eyes don't move fast, they move quiet. They collect, they wait, they build. When real life caught up. By the time MK Slatt's name was ringing online, his real life was moving in a completely different direction, one that didn't care about views, followers, or viral skits. Because here's the uncomfortable truth. Fame doesn't remove you from your environment. It just puts a spotlight on it. And MK never really left. While the internet still saw him as the funny YN playing character, people close to the situation say his lifestyle was starting to line up a little too well with the image he was posting. The same slang, the same references, the same energy, except now it wasn't just for content. This is usually how it happens. You get money, but not enough to fully separate. You get clout, but not...
No, this had a... Bro, this is just slow, bro. I ain't gonna say slow. Niggas just misinformed and ignorant. You know what I'm saying? If you got 1 million subscribers and you ain't got $1 million, bro, it's something, you doing something wrong. I don't give a fuck what you talking about. Okay? I was making 100,000 a month when I had 80,000 subscribers. Do your homework. I went from 20K to 80K very fast. But like, you can go on my Instagram, gang. Go to my Instagram. Go to my life highlight. You will see one moment I was at like 80, 90K on about to get to 100,000 subscribers. And the next clip, like the next slide, you see me, I made $25,000 in a week off one business, not even off my YouTube, off the business that I was promoting through my YouTube. You see what I'm saying? So it's like, you can make that bread, gang. I ain't gonna lie to you, bro. You know what I'm saying? If you work, you feel me? And that's before I even unlocked the method that I got now. So it's like, man, listen, bro, you got 1 million subscribers, bro. You supposed to have sponsorships, nigga. Off top, supposed to be paying you $250,000 a year. You supposed to be getting $250,000 a year just off sponsorships alone, plus your YouTube ads, plus another channel, plus, you feel me? Like,
enough to relocate.
No,
you get attention, but not enough protection. So instead of leaving the environment, you start mixing roles. Comedian online, street dude offline, and that's a dangerous balance. And by the time the internet started clowning MK for being too extra, the investigation was already deeper than anyone realized. Because while fans were laughing and critics were calling it self-snitching, street life doesn't care if you're famous. It only cares if you're involved. And once those two worlds fully collided, there was no way out that didn't end ugly. The raid wasn't random. The charges weren't sudden. They were the result of time, attention, and a lifestyle that got documented too well. And when the knock finally came, it came heavy. In December 2023, everything MK Slatt had been building online and offline came to a hard stop. Early in the morning, around 7 a.m., multiple law enforcement
7
agencies
a.m.
pulled up to a residence in Irondale, Alabama to execute a search warrant connected to an ongoing narcotics investigation. This wasn't a random bust. This wasn't local cops acting on a tip. This was coordinated. According to official reports, the operation involved the Leeds Police Department, the Irondale Police Department, and later drew attention from federal agencies, including the ATF and Homeland Security. Inside the residence, officers took multiple individuals into custody, including M.K. Slatt, real name Markel Demetrius Holmes, along with several associates. What they allegedly found is what changed everything. Police reported recovering multiple...
You think any of them people in that mugshot was telling him, hey, bro, get your ass out the trap house, go make some videos so you can help us get out the trap house? You think any of them was saying that? Because you thinking this shit cool, bro. You feel me? Like, it's like I learned that in life, gang, what you think is cool is gonna be either what set you up for failure or success. Because I learned that, gang, if you convince a nigga that cutting off his arm is cool, he will cut off his arm. If you convince a nigga that cutting off his arm or his leg or his hand or his fingers or his toes or pulling some teeth, if you can convince a nigga to do anything, if you can convince him that it's cool, you can convince a nigga to spend all his money and go completely broke on a video game if you convince him that it's cool. You see what I'm saying?
Firearms, including
and I think them niggas just thought they was cool.
Convert semi-automatic weapons into fully automatic firearms, commonly known as switches, illegal narcotics, including and methamphetamine, packaging materials, and paraphernalia. According to authorities, the residence was allegedly being used as a drug packaging and distribution location, not just a place people were hanging out. That distinction matters because possession is one thing, trafficking is another, and modifying firearms pushes it into a whole different category. Law enforcement publicly stated that the scale of what was recovered suggested organized activity, not personal use. That's when the narrative officially shifted from internet comedian arrested to something much more serious.
Muriel Bailey here at the live desk. 5 people face charges after a bust in Irondale, and one of them is a popular social media influencer. 21-year-old Marquez Holmes is charged with 2 counts of drug trafficking and possession charges. Holmes has over 1 million subscribers on YouTube and thousands on TikTok, known to many as Slimeball MK. 4 others face and weapons charges as well. Police say they found fully automatic weapons, stolen property during a search warrant at a house in Irondale.
The bond amounts told the story before the internet even caught up. Some defendants were hit with bonds in the hundreds of thousands. M.K. Slatt himself was reportedly given a multi-million-dollar bond.
$2 million bond.
Once firearms with switches are involved, the federal government doesn't treat it lightly. A single switch can carry mandatory prison time on the federal level. Combine that with narcotics trafficking, and suddenly the situation goes from state trouble to career-ending consequences. While the internet was still trying to figure out what happened, the system was already moving. This wasn't a content moment. This wasn't a headline that fades in a week. This was the type of case that changes lives permanently. And as news spread, fans started realizing something uncomfortable. The jokes didn't protect him, the clout didn't slow it down, and the internet didn't help it hurt. Because now every old post looks different. Every skit, every flex, and every visual, all of it became context. M.K. Slatt's story isn't rare, it's just public. It shows how fast clout can turn into a trap, how self-snitching doesn't feel dangerous when the algorithm rewards it, and how the system doesn't care if you were just joking. Once the persona controls you, the ending usually isn't yours to write. If you a YN, a creator, or anybody chasing attention, understand this. The internet never forgets, and the streets don't care who you are online.
If you are online, don't ever forget this. Don't ever forget the fact that you're gonna get more money. How much money do you think he was making off that little operation? I guarantee you it wasn't millions. He could have easily been making money. He could have easily been making millions off of social media if he was doing this shit the right way. You know what I'm saying? And it'd be real simple information. It's not a complicated thing. You just got to know. It's real simple, gang. It's not complicated at all. It's very, 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 very simple. Stop recording these short skits. Start recording longer videos. Start making reaction videos. Make another channel. Do a gaming channel. Play the game. Why you acting like the dude you act like the character that you are in your skits? Do that on a gaming channel and watch that shit blow up. Do longer skits. 5-6 minute skits so you can post long form videos instead of shorts. Get sponsorships. Get advertisements. Get people to pay you $1,000 to do a skit in a t-shirt. Get people to pay you $300 to mention and shout them out or repost their brand. You feel me? Be stuck in that mindset, gang. They be down. I'm not even gonna say don't be knowing better, because knowing better is one thing, but trying to know better is a whole nother thing. Like, if you don't know something, but you also not trying to figure it out, it's like, what can I really do to help you? You know? But yeah, this is just a case of some dumb shit. It's dumb as hell.